But what you do need is purpose. What you do need is to take that time to define what is it that you're trying to do with your life.
No matter what you're doing, you could be doing more. Remember that. It's 24 hours in a day. You got to use as many of those hours to prepare stability for yourself as you can.
I want you to know that you matter. Yep, I said it. You. Not anybody else, but you.
The only conversation is pushing. You feel you can't push. The only conversation is you against you. The rest doesn't matter, the excuses. Doesn't matter, the weakness doesn't. Count excuses, get out of my way, that's what this is about, so you got to. Recognize when it gets tough, you better get tough. Easy does not count, easy does not work. You can't cheat your way up, you got to push your way up, not everyone. Is right, you'll be at the top, not everyone is suitable to be at the top. If you're having a mental breakdown, that body will believe everything that the mind is telling it to do. You got to understand, the mind is a terrible thing to waste, and if the mind ain't right, then the body won't be right.
Why do you matter? What is it that you're going to be able to bring to yourself and to the world? And it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. It has to be something that's true to you. It has to be something that you're willing to commit to. And once you're willing to commit to it, to put in the energy every day to get up and pursue that thing. And again, this is not me. I'm not judging you. I can really tell you, I love you, and it's enough that you just exist. But I know that in your head, in all of our heads, is a voice that says that just isn't true. And so to connect with ourselves and to find that meaning and to develop it, to create meaning in our lives, we have to set an intention, and we have to pursue that intention. Start small, know what you want, get out of bed, get after it, set rules for yourself.
I said it online, I got in a lot of trouble. If you sleep 8 hours, you're not ever going to be rich. If you have any dreams of being rich, you cannot sleep 8 hours a day. It's only 24 hours in a day. If you sleep 8 hours, that's a third of your life. How can you cannot be asleep a third of your life and become successful. You can't. People got mad at me. They're talking about Steve Harvey prefers wealth over health. No, change is inevitable. So here's what's going to happen. No matter what's going on in your life, it's not permanent. Everything is going to change. I mean, look, in show business, that's all the time.
Follow those rules. Once you start doing those simple things, and again, they don't have to be big, but once you start setting a rule, having an intention, following your rules, building towards that intention, suddenly you're going to earn that credibility with yourself. And then all of a sudden, no matter what anybody says to you, and they are going to say negative things, haters are going to come after you, that is just a reality of life, but you will be impervious to that if you have built within you belief that you are worthy. Because you take small steps every day to do something that means something to you. It doesn't matter what other people think, but it matters a lot what you think about yourself. So every day, earn that worth.
One of the hardest things I've had to do is confront mediocrity in my own life. I'm challenging you to commit to dismantling whatever it is that has been holding your destiny hostage.
You could come to work one day and they just say the show is canceled. What can you do? So what I've done is I've produced so much content. I got radio, I write books, I write movies, I do TV shows, I host TV shows. I got a game show. I do a Facebook watch show. I do so many. So when they come and they cancel something, I don't really give a damn. Because I got 8 more jobs. You know what I mean? I've just managed to stack. And then I'm always prepared. I prepare for what's coming.
See, sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dream as we run toward it, as we work on it day in and day out.
You have to understand that you have to have a connection, the connection of righteousness, the connection of fighting, the connection of faithfulness in you. And your abilities and your strength and your honor and your integrity, everything that you do on this moment counts in this place. You can't wait for someone else to push you through. You've got to push yourself. You are born, and you are born to live and fight so on this day, and for the rest of your life. If you're work a little bit harder, you can't do easy. There is some easy in success. There is no easy in pushing that weight. There is no easy in running that extra mile. If it's easy, why are you doing it? If it's easy, how are you growing? If it's easy, how are you going to be your best? Suffer now and get the rewards later, D.
You matter. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to know what you do matters. When you brush your teeth in the morning, I want you to know that you matter. When you iron your clothes in the morning and you don't feel like getting out of bed, I want you to know that you matter. I want you to understand that you matter, because what you do could change somebody's life and the trajectory of what they can overcome. I want you to know that you matter because nobody ever told me that I mattered. I want you to know that you matter because you got people that's dependent on you right now. You may have some kids. You may have some younger siblings. You may have mom, dad, grandma, auntie. There's somebody out there that's dependent on you. So I want you to know that you matter.
So your business ought to have an educational slant to it in some way. You need to be thinking through how you begin to create that in your business by teaching people things. And that could be just a value proposition. It could be something you stand for, be something you mail them, something you teach them. But it begins to build discipleship and education in your business. The third purpose of religion that Rick lists is worship. And we do want people to kind of be in our presence in our business, being that in love with who we are and what we do. In religion, they worship a creator. In your business, they're going to worship your cause and your mission and what you stand for. And so it's got to be constantly messaged all the time. In some way, shape, or form, worship is a strong word for really believe. Strong word is to really be connected. A strong word to believe that you're different and unique and special and cause-oriented. People want to be a part of a movement, just so you know, even as a consumer. That's why you see people wear the t-shirts of different brands. Anything they can do to say, I belong here, and I belong here because I worship or I believe in the cause. I believe in the mission.
If you believe in the possibilities that make it work for you, now you've got to also understand this. It ain't going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. There's always more to give. You've got to be willing. Sacrifice, you've got to be willing to hurt, you've got to be willing to yell out. Whatever it takes, keep pushing forward. Don't you give up on your life, don't you? Give up on those reps, don't you give up on giving it what it takes to get most of yourself. Right now, you're wondering, why is this guy yelling? I'm not yelling, I'm making noise. I'm making noise. Scare away your excuses, I'm sounding off. Because maybe that weakness doesn't. Understand the power that you possess. I know for myself without that shut.
You have the ability and you have the tools and the power and all of the amazing characteristics that are on the inside of you are ready to come out and come to fruition and ready to see you walking your purpose and who you were called to be and what you were called to do. Because you and I are the aspirin to somebody's headache. How long are you going to let them suffer? So I want you to know that you matter. Because I remember my 8th grade teacher told me I'll never be anything in life. I'll either be dead or in jail. So I want you to know that you matter.
I believe in what this company stands for. That could be what the leader stands for, the product stands for, the delivery stands for, the industry stands for, but they need to know what you stand for. 4 is ministry and service is one of the purposes that Rick lists for religion, and that's also true for a business. Businesses exist to solve a problem. Your messaging needs to all the time be about the service that you do, because it's how you mobilize people. You mobilize people around that mission. You're going to hear the common theme here of dream, mission, and recognition. And inside this, what are you doing to recognize the people that are in your service? For example, in a church, if you've ever been to a church, there are people who get identified roles, don't they? There's the pastor or the priest or the rabbi, etc., and whatever the religion is. There's also the ushers. There's the people who do the sign-ins. There's the people who lead worship service, who play the music. These are forms of recognition inside the organization. What are you doing to recognize your client? What are you doing to recognize your colleagues, recognize your recruits at every level, all the time? This is how we begin to build this part of the element of our cult-like religious following.
I'm going to shout it out. I'm not going to let things hold me down. I'm not. Going to let people tell me I don't count. I'm not going to let this place of business tell me I have no business. Yes, the voice, the power, the passion, the love. Everything that I have inside, I give it to you. I give it to the listener. I give it to the weightlifter. I give it to the marathon runner. I give it to the swimmer. I give it to the Zumba dancer. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. When the time comes, you must recognize that you've got to be better. You got to be tougher. You got to be stronger.